What is up and welcome back. We are your Colorado real estate family, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney. Today we're going to be covering one of those top cities that you guys have been asking about. We're talking about Longmont, Colorado. All of that new and what's to come for this great city.
All right, let's go.
Before we really dive into this city, first things first, let's kind of cover why Longmont is kind of becoming so popular. And I think the biggest reason is because it's not Boulder. So Boulder was always kind of the bigger brother, and then you have Longmont, which is like the smaller sister to it. There are portions of Longmont that are in Boulder County, but it's pretty much like, hey, people wanted to be close to Boulder, but they didn't necessarily want to live inside of Boulder. And so then you have Longmont. Longmont had that small town feel that we often talk about. It's similar to say like Loveland. Fort Collins used to have this. Since Fort Collins has grown up, it doesn't really have that small town feel as much. But yeah, I mean, I think Boulder is one of the biggest driving factors. Also the fact that Longmont is right off the highway. So let's talk about this location. If you're looking at getting into Longmont from Denver, what you pretty much can do is take I-25 straight north, get off County Road 119 north, take that straight west, and it'll head right into pretty much like your south side of Longmont. Now, if you continue down that, it ends up turning into Diagonal Highway, which will go all the way into Boulder.
The one thing that we have talked about in the past and something to consider is that it isn't right off of the highway. No. So even though it has direct access to the highway, it does feel like you're still driving for like another 10 minutes before you're actually hitting anything around it. That's going to change. Obviously, we're going to be talking about development and what's coming, so stick around to the end because we're going to be talking about where are they building and will this be closing in soon.
Another reason why a lot of people decide to choose Longmont is they actually do have a great schooling system. If you go to niche.com, that is where we always pull these grades. I recommend checking it out because they dive in a little bit deeper as to what areas they are grading. St. Vrain Valley School District is the main district that you're going to be looking at, and it's an A- according to niche.com. So some great schools. That school district actually also extends over into your Carbon Valley. So quick note that you got Longmont, Firestone, Dacono, and Frederick all lumped into the St. Vrain Valley School District.
Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably most interested in what is coming to Longmont. Now, I will say congratulations to Longmont because I look at a lot of cities and their development, and it was pretty easy to see the development plans in Longmont. They have two different ways of doing it on their website, which we'll put somewhere down below here, but you can look at the interactive map and then it's color coded by kind of the project type, and you can also go to the PDF, which I really liked the PDF because you can look at everything in a snapshot. It'll give you anything that's under review, that is already been approved and is going into construction phases, and things that have been withdrawn, because sometimes we talk to you guys a lot about all these things are in review does not necessarily mean that it's going to actually get to completion. So I do like seeing if there were some things that were withdrawn. Now keep in mind that withdrawn can mean that they resubmitted in another way, so it doesn't mean that it's not necessarily coming, but there is a story to be told.
Let's break into what's been Longmont's bread and butter for the longest time, and that is single family homes. They are bringing some brand new products into the area. First, let's talk about, they got like 64 single family home products over at North Star. It's actually going to be on the west side of Longmont, and so it's good to know. I mean, if you've ever seen some of the houses that are surrounding like downtown Longmont, they are gorgeous. They are beautiful. They have the old style kind of Victorian, even some Tudor style houses. Just so much character, and so many of our clients do love that style. But if you are looking for that newer style suburbia, this North Star might be something for you. Another single family project that is actually currently under review, we'll see if it's going to be pushed through, I don't know, we'll find out, is going to be the villas at Spring Valley. So like I said, that is under review. Even if it does potentially get rejected and then gets put back through, I'm sure these developers have put in a lot of money, a lot of time in order to make this idea a reality. So some newer single family products are coming in. Not quite, I will say this though right now, is that I feel like Longmont isn't throwing in as many products as some of these other cities that we talk about. Like Thornton is insane. You see, it feels like you see like a brand new single family development popping up everywhere, like Thornton, Broomfield, even Westminster. Kind of to an extent. Westminster's not as on steroids as say Broomfield and Thornton, but Longmont is still doing some good things to make sure they do expand the amount of single family homes that you do have available for all the people who are moving into the great city.
Okay, now I wanted to also get specific and break into some development as far as multifamily. Now I cannot remember all of these different developments because there are a lot, but I did look up a couple for you so that you can kind of see where some of the development is happening. So we're gonna be talking about this multifamily townhouse condo kind of attached product. Over at Spruce Avenue and Grant, there's gonna be about 70 townhouses that are under review right now. So that's a pretty big community, and it's also going to include like a 0.8 acre park. So they actually are making a little community out of this. However, it is pretty controversial because this is part of that bond farm. I was looking into it with the development, but a lot of people are actually pushing back on this because of that surrounding community. There's also a large mixed use development that is under review right now. That's 183 units with 11,000 square foot of commercial space and a parking garage. So that's going to be a pretty big development. Again, this is more of that kind of condo style living where you're going to have kind of that walkability with the commercial space either underneath or around it.
I wanted to note quickly on this that, I mean, you will see some pushback from a lot of the locals that are here in Colorado just because, listen, we've had it great for so long in some of these smaller towns. We're like, we don't want it to change. We don't want all this new development coming. We don't want the traffic and all that. And so it is oftentimes that you do see a lot of these locals who are like, no, I don't want this development here. I do not want these condos, these townhouses, even these single family products. Say you have a great view and then you found it, there's gonna be a new development going in across the street that's gonna block that view. So you are gonna see some pushback. That's where we like to make sure that we keep you updated on this, on whether or not these projects do go through or whether or not they get canceled.
We're also seeing some of these developers that have been holding on to land, splitting some of this land and then developing part of it. There is one right now under review where it's going to be split into 2 parcels, and one of the parcels is actually going to be converted 20 units of multifamily living. The other is actually in the specific site plan. It says, for future use of development. So I think eventually they will develop the other part of this, but this is going to show that not only are people who have been holding on to land starting to develop, but they might take out little pieces and develop over time. If you're wondering where that's happening, that's going to be over on the northeast corner of 2nd Avenue and Emery Street. So again, we're starting to see a lot of development. One thing I will say is, and according to the map, is it's not one specific area that's being developed. We are seeing kind of splotches all over Longmont. The last one I'm going to be talking about, because it is an extremely large project, is going to be 355 residential mixed in with some employment opportunities, or I guess that's more kind
Mixed
of commercial
use.
space.
Mixed use, yeah.
But that is going in over on Rogers Road. So these are huge, pretty big developments considering them being multi-use. We'll usually see in smaller towns some like little pockets of multifamily products coming in, but to see this many kind of starts telling us a story about Longmont.
Now I'm gonna take a quick tea, guys. A tea. I wish
Time out.
I feel like I should though. I don't want to have like a red flag. Because then it looks like a penalty. It's not a penalty. It's just more so we are constantly trying to get feedback from you guys in regards to these videos, because these development videos, we just want to know, is this something that you guys do like, that you want us to continue to do, update you on all the development that is happening in these different cities. We like to take your feedback and honestly use it for videos in the future. So please, guys, do us a huge favor, comment down below, let us know if you do love these videos. If it's too much information, you're like, oh, it's just boring, I don't want this information, just show me pictures and all that stuff. Let us know either way. That way we can make sure that we are constantly improving our videos for you. So also, if you are loving this content, or say even if you aren't loving this content, just so you can follow us along and critique us on the things that we're saying wrong or doing wrong or whatever it might be, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you do like this video, and the notification bell that you're notified every single time that we put out a brand new video. Also, if you are looking at purchasing real estate here in the beautiful state of Colorado, give us a call or text the phone number right below. Right below right there, we answer. It doesn't matter date or time. We have put together the best team, guys. They seriously, they impress me every single day, every single time.
All right, we've talked about single family, we've talked about multifamily. Let's go ahead and break into some other development. Now, this is where all of you locals who are watching might not be as excited, because we're starting to see condensed living.
Well, so just throw another quick note on that. We're in the same boat sometimes. Like, we live in a great community that we're at and stuff like that, and they announced that they're putting in some apartment style products. We're like, do you have any idea our schools are gonna be flooded, our traffic and stuff? So we're right there with you. I'm just saying. So sorry, didn't mean to cut off Chelsea, but
with some of this development also brings in visitors. So we're gonna get a new hotel, it looks like, coming into Longmont. That's gonna be located on Main Street in Kimbart, so a little bit closer to kind of that downtown area of Longmont, which we all know is so cute. So I understand why people are wanting to stay kind of close by family. The good thing about hotels is if you do have family coming into town, it's a great way for them to be able to stay and not necessarily stay in your house, being able to have more accommodations for that.
Now we can sit here and go on forever just telling you about all these new development projects. There are a few other products that are out there. If we're talking about like East Kim Pratt and like County Road 1, that's where a lot of other development is happening. That area is blowing up like crazy. A little note on that, when we decide to buy properties outside of the state, so if you don't know already, we own Airbnb properties, and when we go to look, we look for stuff like this. We're like, oh look, there's development, because usually what we'll do is for example, all right, so Clearwater, right? We looked at Clearwater in buying a property, and we're like, all right, cool, you know, Clearwater's a little bit more expensive. Let's go right outside of that. Went to a city outside of it where we did see some of this development happening. We're like, boom, we're gonna buy a house right there, and that house blew up like crazy, equity gains like crazy, and so we're constantly looking for this development. When you do see that, obviously it means that there are some huge plans for that city and what's gonna be happening in the future.
All right, let's finish up with some exciting development. Now, I wish that at the very end of this video, I was giving you the coolest, most up-to-date things coming to Longmont. But let's be real, Longmont's specialty is its beautiful, old kind of downtown feel, where it has like the, you know, the little theater and like this really quaint feel. We're not getting anything big. We're not getting Topgolf. We're not getting anything super.
Although it's not far. I mean, Topgolf I think is only like a 20-minute drive down south.
Yes, you're gonna have to come down by us to come in. So I wish, I was looking and looking, I'm like, there's gotta be something super cool. So if you're a local and you know something behind the scenes that I was not able to uncover, please comment down below. But I will say, being a coffeeholic, you're getting a Ziggy's, you're getting a Dutch Bros, you're getting some of these little things to support some of these new communities, and you're getting a Sonic. So I don't know, there's not a ton of things coming in, but I know that they're going to be, especially if we start seeing a lot of these new development, we're gonna start seeing those areas blow up with different things.
I mean, I feel like Sonic's everywhere, so that's not the biggest deal. Dutch Bros, we were super excited when we first saw like a Dutch Bros come into our area, and we're like, cool. Then we went there, and then realized they didn't do like actual black coffee. They do an Americano. I'm like, what is this? All right, it's like I want an actual black coffee. Give me a real black coffee, and so.
But they're nice.
They're super friendly. I couldn't believe how friendly they're. Like talking, hey, how you doing? Like talking, and you're like. I'm not gonna lie, guys. If you ever meet me in person, I'm a little social awkward. So if you strike a conversation with me just out of nowhere, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever, you know.
He's the sponge of knowledge, and I'm the social interactor.
There you go. And then another quick one that we're gonna be throwing in there that is not actually your dwelling units or your living single family detached and all that stuff is you got Horizons Park. They got 7 parcels over there. Horizons Park Shopping Center.
It's coming. We don't know what's gonna take it up, though.
Yeah, they're putting the actual real estate there, so we just don't really know what's happening right there. And you are actually seeing a lot of this in a lot of these other cities where we actually have one right down the street from us right now where it's a bunch of spaces that are just building just retail, right? They're like, all right, cool, here you go. But we don't know what's going in there. We're like, oh, that'll be exciting. I want to know what's going to be there. It's going to be a coffee shop. It's going to be a restaurant. It's going to be, what kind of food is it going to be? And so it's kind of exciting, like watching all the time. It's like, oh, what sign popped up? And sometimes they hide them.
What's coming in?
Well, sometimes they hide them. It's like you're sitting there looking like, oh, there's a sign up. And it's like, oh, it's just the builder. Oh, no, it's the infrastructure guy.
I know, we try so hard. We're such geeks when it comes to development that anytime we see something going in there, we're like, oh, is it going to be for lease? Because then it's harder to track. If it's actually being bought, then it shows which kind of business is going in there. So anyways, that's us going and diving into this development. But we hope this was helpful. If you're living in Longmont and now you know some of the things that are coming that will either, increase your home values like we've talked about and show the growth of Longmont, or it could be something that empowers you to go down there and have your voice heard. So we do like to give all the locals a little bit of knowledge on that. And then also if you're moving into Longmont, it's really good to see that there's growth. That's showing that you're going to be able to see a city grow and you're going to be growing with it. So if you like this content, comment down below, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, and notification bell so you're notified every single time we put out a new video.
And of course, guys, if you are looking at purchasing real estate here in the beautiful state of Colorado, give us a call or text the phone number right below. Right below right there, we are there to help you out. Our team is the top relocation experts if you are planning on moving anywhere from, say, Colorado Springs all the way up to Fort Collins. And until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. It's just like you see a brand new single family suburbia popping up almost everywhere. Take that straight west. Let's break into kind of what bit.
There's also a large mixed use product that's coming, development. So there is one right now into 20 units. That's gonna be over on the northeast corner.
Yeah.
Kind of mixed use or these multifamily type living,
You just want to follow along so you could tell us, or just so you could follow along and could treat
the coolest